Terrorism is no longer a threat, it's a reality. As more qualified people decide how to deal with it, we need to decide what way we want it portrayed. That's why we're asking, is it right to broadcast terrorist attacks? That's the question we're going to try to answer today at the Placeholder Podcast. With me, I have Jim, aka Trickzter.
Sup?
And before we continue, I think I should give some information. And on every podcast, I'm always going to be on the opposing party, and at the end of the episode, I'll give my real stance on the issue, just so it's an argument.
Yeah.
But why do you think? What stance do you have?
Before I get to my stance on this entire thing, I think it's worth noting that we were supposed to have more people here today.
Yeah, we were, but that'll be fixed on future podcasts.
Spritzley just got kicked out.
Yeah,
fucking idiot. Because he drew Stoggin. But back to my stance on this. No, I don't like. Yes, I think that terror attacks and terrorism should be shown on TV, just not to the extent we're doing it today. Because what we're showing today is, like, it's quite extreme, to be quite frank with you. But, like, to be quite frank, it's quite extreme, and I think most of it comes from the fact that most people are terrified. Like, most people are terrified of the fact that this is happening so close to us, and because of that, like, the thing comes up that we want to show the world that this is happening, and like that's okay, but like the more scared we are, the more extreme we're going to show it, because we think that it should be done something with, but you know, with incompetent politicians and all, it becomes, it's not good at all.
Yeah. But I think that the issue is, it's not the showing the terrorist attacks themselves. It can, we're not showed a balance in this. We're shown the terrorist attacks, and we have to figure out the rest ourselves. We don't see the stats. We're not shown the stat that shows how small the chance of experiencing one of these attacks is. It's like it's less than 0.1%. It's such a small chance, and it's if you're just shown that more frequently, I think that's a better solution than just censoring the attacks themselves.
Yeah, like, I quite agree with you, and my point is not to censor them, it's showing them in a more sensible way. Like, because what we see today is basically, we get shown, well, we don't get shown the statistics, we just get shown the attack and everything. Like, we don't cover it enough, it's my opinion, and we take the more bloody parts of it in not a can't remember the word, but in a figurative sense, we get shown the blood and gore of it, like the extreme of it. Like, for example, after the Manchester attacks, like, we get shown, because there were no reporters there and stuff, we get shown phone images and videos, and they record, like, everything, and that doesn't get censored. Like, I get that it's not censored, but you don't have to show it to us. Instead of showing it to us, pull up some stats or something and tell us that, like, everything, like, my point here is, you don't have to tell us that it's probably not gonna happen everywhere, but at least tell us that everything's going to be alright and we're doing everything we can, because this doesn't come right after. Like, it takes a solid week or two for such a statement to come out from, for example, the Prime Minister in Britain.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a certain amount of time for the real truth behind it to come forth. and that's the part I'm a bit iffy on.
Yeah, that's fine. But if the attacks aren't shown in like as you said, with with the gore, with everything, then won't the victims of the attack just be reduced to stats? That's what's happening in third world countries. We hear about attacks there all the time. Of course, if you want, you can find it, you can see it, but it's not as prominent in the media as these attacks are. And we see the victims of these attacks more as individuals, not as the people dying by ISIS every day in Syria and such. They're reduced to stats, and I think that's not the right way to remember these people.
No, of course not. I don't think they should be reduced to stats either. I just think that the way they're broadcasting and showing this is too much for let's say the younger generation. It's a bit too much for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But there are different times to send things. Like if it's sent like I don't know, like a couple of hours before midnight or something. Then the most sensitive viewers should have gone to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that's okay, but the problem here is if there is a terrorist attack, the media or anything like the problem with that solution is that they need to get it out as fast as possible for it to be a viable story and to be a good story.
Yeah, that's true. If everything gets out instantly, then there will be flaws, and not all aspects will be taken into consideration. I agree with that. Yeah, but that's the problem with the media today. It's more of a problem with that, not with the attacks themselves, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with them broadcasting the attacks. As I said numerous times, it's the way they're doing it. Like, they're pushing it out too soon and too sensitive for most people.
Yeah. And, but if the attacks are... If it's not censored, but if you don't show the entirety of it, people don't get an accurate depiction of terrorism. For example, you'd think it's you look at it, people die. They just die. It's not. You don't understand the full grasp of it. It's the full grasp of it if not every aspect is taken into consideration, including the gore, including the pain, everything.
Yeah, like I do entirely understand that, but like to give an example, what they should have done instead of sending it all right there, they could have made an announcement that this happened and that more information is on its way, and just wait a little.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. But then, if it comes out later, then most people have stopped reading it, and people won't. Then most people have stopped paying attention, and then not a lot of people will know about it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, and I also think it's worth noting that if the attacks aren't shown, no matter what time it's shown, if it's not shown entirely, the terrorist we have the risk of humanizing the terrorist. This is let me just take an example here. On the 22nd of July here in Norway, the terrorist Anders Behring Breivik, he bombed a street in the capital of Norway and killed numerous people on an island. If these attacks weren't, if we didn't take it the way we did and show how people are in pain because of this and everything, it could have humanized him a lot, because it could be looked at as a political attack. And political attacks, like it's I might be slightly flawed on this, but a lot of people look at that as a positive thing. I've heard a lot of people talk about free speech in this, and some people think that that's a part of it, and that could cause more people to humanize terrorists, and possibly more attacks could happen.
You are entirely right, my sir. That's the thing here. Like, I agree with you too much to go against that. Actually, that's a bad part about this. This is why we need more people.
Yeah.
But yes, you are entirely right. But I stand by my argument that they should, well, instead of like telling people about it and showing it later, they could take the. It's not a laughing matter, but I still think they should take their time, but not like. They shouldn't wait a couple of days. They could wait a couple of hours so that people could prepare their children, or they could mentally prepare themselves for it. For example, if not like a lot of people that I know, at least where I live here in Norway, like whenever they hear of a terrorist attack, like because it gets sent so early and they show everything, they get extremely afraid that it's gonna happen to us next. Like,
yeah,
that
brings up another argument though. If as we've seen recently, there's so many attacks, and we just get numb to it. I'm not scared of terrorist attacks because it happens so frequently that I'm used to it, and I think that's to a big reason because it's shown so much and we read about it so much. If it's shown in its entirety, people will eventually get tired of it and won't be scared. It'll just be a part of their everyday lives.
To stray away from the media for a second and the broadcasting of terror attacks, like the massive issue here is like most of these attacks happen in like I haven't heard of an attack in USA for a long time though.
Yeah,
like
I think that has something to do with the borders.
Yeah, so let's rule out USA because they're obviously doing something right.
Yeah.
Not to glorify them, but they're doing something right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the governments here in the EU and actually just the EU. That's the problem with the EU because they're so for mass immigration that even if it happens, they don't close borders, they don't put questions, they just continue like their everyday life. They continue. Like they don't see that the problem here is they don't see that the problem is their open mass immigration laws. They don't see that they should close the borders just for a little while. They don't see that. Like but I've seen multiple EU countries, like not multiple, but for example Poland, right after the Germany was it Germany? I think it was Germany. The truck.
Oh yeah.
The truck that blew up in Germany, like right after, like 2 days after, Poland closed their borders entirely against the will of the EU, and they got fucking mad. I tell you, like they.
No, but that's to keep the country safe.
Yeah,
look at fucking Paris. Yeah.
They. Like, what did they do? I didn't quite get what they did. Did they close the borders too?
I don't. It's happened so much there that they couldn't have. It's
No.
They're doing something massively wrong.
The entirety of the EU is doing something massively wrong. Like, but no, I think Poland passed a anti-mass immigration law not too long ago, which stopped a lot of immigrants from entering their country, and that have helped immensely. Like, I haven't heard of a terror attack in Poland ever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's my stance on mass immigration, at least.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I don't think that borders should be closed entirely, though. But if they're at risk for terrorist attacks, then that should be an option. And
especially when your neighboring country just got fucking blown up by a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're doing something wrong, and if the EU didn't have the mass immigration law to begin with, this, like, it would still have happened, but it wouldn't have happened in such a broad spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I agree.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah.
That's a real problem. That's about everything I had. Like, I don't have anything more because I agree with you. So
Yeah.
I lost the
I
debate.
managed to convince you.
You managed to convince me.
Yeah.
I'm turned.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and list up the rest of my arguments. I don't have a lot left.
Yeah, I'll cut you off if I have something to say.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll probably.
Yeah. I have one more argument, and that's my best one in my opinion. Yeah, but if there gets passed a law that telling the press that they can't show certain things, that will undermine the free press and make it less free. And if something gets censored, then there's a higher chance that other stuff also gets censored. And yeah, we don't want to live in a world where the free press isn't free. It should be their own choice if they want to show it or not.
I hear a certain undertone of Ireland right there.
Damn.
But yeah, I agree with you. The free press should be free entirely.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a free press, we'll end up like Greece.
Yeah, that's true.
Mic drop.
Yeah, but was that it then?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so my real stance on the issue is that I think it should be... I don't think it should be illegal, but I don't think it should be limited by law, but I think that news corporations should have the integrity not to show it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's that.
Thank you
If
for
you,
listening.
Yeah, if you enjoyed, then go ahead and follow us, and yeah, feel free to share. And
if you're
whatever.
listening to this on SoundCloud, go check out our actual podcast, like Internet Escapades.
Yeah.
First episode is already out. Second one coming in the near future, whenever I decide to actually do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're listening to this on YouTube, which I'll actually I'll upload the podcast there too on another playlist after I edit it. Then please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And do you want to enter our gift card giveaway? No, we don't have a gift card giveaway. We're actually entirely independent. But feel free to check out our other content, and please continue giving us the support you have given us. It's actually very inspiring to see many of you liking our videos and commenting, and actually giving feedback. That's
really nice.
It gives me like. It actually gives me motivation to do this.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's
like I haven't been here for that long, but like for the time I've been here, I've seen not what you could call massive growth, but I've seen growth, and I see people enjoying our content.
Yeah, any growth is good growth.
Yeah.
And
so please feel free to do those stuff, and thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening
to Placeholder.
See you later.
Someone please add some echo over that. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.